You're not there anymore, huh? Huh? Oh, that's interesting.就是你。我现在有一个 hacker，你看见吗？不是你吗？ Oh, what? Not gonna do anything now? That's interesting. As soon as I'm going live, all of a sudden the hacker gets all intimidated. You scared? You scared? Interesting. This guy was going wild all day. What? You gone? Yeah, I'm not on Facebook anymore. I'm just gonna leave this right here for right now. See if it does anything. See, soon as I put the pressure on, he's gone. Yeah, I'm not on Facebook anymore. Here, let me adjust my camera. Oh no, look. See? There he goes. There he goes. So yeah, I'm not on. Oh, but see, there he goes. I am not on Facebook anymore for a number of reasons. So after a certain point, it just became pretty clear to me that it was a huge risk privacy-wise. There's a lot of ethics issues with them. I told people I was leaving, and I told people, yeah, like, you should leave too, and this is why. And there was just so much evidence over. It's just overwhelming, and even people understand it, and they would still stay. There's so many things about the way that it was designed. It's all come out. I mean, if you just do, I mean, just do even a little research, it comes out. And so they were having tests where they were manipulating people's feelings and emotion and wanted to see if they could cause people to have depression or turn them racist, or and that's literally what I saw happen. And then it came out, and then they also have these tracking things in Facebook and also Instagram, which is owned by Facebook. So it accesses your microphone, and then certain keywords you would say, and even certain sounds that are like in the environment that you're in. It would record those and send off like keywords through using your data, and it would use it to market stuff or try and see. He's not doing anything now. He's not doing anything now. Anyway, yeah, I'm not on Facebook at all anymore. I'm doing a lot of art stuff lately and video stuff. I have a lot of pain in my back, and yeah, I'm not on Facebook. It was so hard to leave, and nobody wants to go. Like I have like MeWe. I have a MeWe. I'm on MeWe, and people would refuse to even start a new account. Ironically, many people have WhatsApp, which is also owned by Facebook. Um, so I do feel a lot happier in my life lately. Like, I'm not at UMass anymore. Commuting was really difficult, but I'm doing a lot of video stuff. I'm filming. I'm working on a film. Nothing is completely 100% perfect. There's hiccups along the way and everything, and you just have to like deal with it. I was going to the gym. I was going all the time, and then I have a hacker problem like crazy. This hacker, which might actually be the same hacker, decided. So first, there was the pizza place incident, where someone had this. They had someone call in and harass the pizza place and constantly insist on talking to me. Then when I went to the gym and they tracked me through like Twitter and they tracked me through Yelp. Uh, there was they started calling the gym and demanding to talk to me. And then they were like hacking into the phone lines, they're hacking into their voicemail, hacking into the manager's cell phone. I mean, it just became like this onslaught terroristic thing. And I told them, I was like, don't answer the phone, don't tell them anything, which of course sets them off. And I am more than sure that I know who's behind it. And then they never called Homeland Security like I told them to, but instead they just got a restraining order against me, so I can no longer go to any Planet Fitness in this entire area. So I have to find a new location to go to the gym. I have the papers somewhere. It's a fucking restraining order against me. Excuse my language, YouTube, because free speech, please. I I am more than sure I know who's behind it. It's a person, let's just say an ex relationship. I came to this conclusion because I was testing to see because the modus operandi of this person's way of doing things is this like persistent thing. And then I wanted to see what would happen if I said stuff in Chinese, so I did. And it was specific things to see if I would get a reaction out of this person. Specific things that, if based on whom I suspected it was, that if I got a strong reaction out of it, that would let me know who that was. And it was. And then I had to talk with this person, and this person never overtly admitted anything. But speaking to this person calmed the situation down. And I think it's a pattern where it's like certain times of the year, this person wants attention from me. And if I don't give it to them, they will like attack someone or, yeah, fun times. So there's that. I have no idea what to do about it. Um, I don't know anymore. Like, I'm not going back on Facebook. It's not happening. I'm not going back there. Like, it's not worth my privacy. It's not worth like the guy who started Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg. He wants to run for president. So I don't find that ethical whatsoever. Plus, they're deciding what is news and what is not news. It's like freaking like Orwellian, okay? Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. But hey, I'm doing animation now again. I'm back at animation. I don't feel like miserable anymore or like very depressed anymore. I was severely depressed, and the one thing that actually really helped my depression was going to the gym. That and taking a walk. And up here in New England, it's really cold, so I can't always take a walk because I have asthma. So yeah, there was a lot of stuff that came up here and there, but I was just shooting over in Rhode Island like over a week ago. Not I'm not I'm not going to that location again. I'm the director of photography, but I at this point don't care. Um, so I really like the director. He's a really good friend of mine, like super good friend of mine, really long time friend of mine. But we don't have a script supervisor, and because people keep not showing up, all of a sudden like the script doesn't matter, and then the scenes don't look right. And I'm also the editor, and oh yeah, yeah, people talk like New Englanders up here. So here in the Boston area, it depends on where you go. Like people will have certain types of Boston accents, and other areas they don't. It's funny, like people who go over in Brockton don't usually have that Bostonian sound. Um, it's funny. When I was at UMass, I could tell who was from like around Brockton, and how the heck they freaking managed to commute that far is beyond me because it's even farther than where I am. So let's see, is he still there? This guy was going nuts all day, all day. Is he doing anything? Da-da-da, nothing, nothing. Trying to make me look crazy here. Oh, there you go. There you go. See, you can see his finger. Woohoo! Oh, did you get bored? Not interesting? Okay. So there's that. How about you? So you still doing like banking, finance, or whatever? I was actually on a financial call today, and it was stupid. They kind of always are. I'm just so fed up with it. Like, ugh, freaking Brooks Nations, I swear. Anyways, workforce management, United Healthcare Workforce Management. So are you like a call center guy, or okay? I'm kind of not really working at the moment. Like I have a contract to do videography, but the guy he's sort of doing this passive aggressive thing where he's like, would you like to work these shows and this date? And I'm like, okay. And this is my availability. And he'll be like, I'll send the contract ASAP, and then never sends it to me, and does this repeatedly. And then whenever I do work, because you're supposed to get your paycheck within 30 days, it's usually over a month and a half. Yeah. Oh yeah, do the DJ thing. Ugh. I actually have um I actually have my own like mixer. I need to practice more though. Like I kind of wish I could practice with someone, kind of thing. So I actually did some video with the mixer as well. So it lights up and all that. Like I'm not really great at it, but I like it. It's fun. But the problem with DJ like mixing is copyright stuff. Like I don't know how you get around it. I just don't cuz so I can't really post anything online. I don't know how to get away with it. Like right now I'm trying to learn Twitch, and I don't know. Broadcasting these days, like on the internet, is way more complicated. It's not very user friendly. It's not as complex but complicated, and there's always some catch 22. Like the fact that this is even streaming at all, and like kind of like mind blown, because it used to be easy. You would just broadcast. Then they made it so you had to have a third party program sort of software thing, and they gave you like a bunch of them, and you have to figure out one, and they never totally worked right. And they got rid of the streaming on YouTube, and now it's back again. So yeah, isn't like wedding season from like March until like November? I feel like it's more like popular for people to have weddings now in the fall, but when I was growing up, it was like spring and summer, maybe March to June. Okay. I must have seen like a ton of people having like weddings in like, Hawaii or Bora Bora or Florida or like the Caribbean or whatever. Um, I I was trying to get like a grant, a huge grant, because my spouse got one. He had a massive grant. I helped him to write it, and I was trying to get one so I could go film in Morocco because I wanted to go film in Morocco. I just don't want to film there at the peak of summer. I'd rather go when it's not as hot. I like the heat, but I also like my equipment, and my equipment doesn't like the heat that much. Fall weddings is the new summer wedding, I guess, because, well, at least up here, we don't really have cool or cold autumns anymore. Even though we've had a cooling trend right now because of the storm, the hurricane thing, it usually is really hot. It could be cold at night and cold in the morning. Like you have to wear a sweater or a jacket or something. And then like by the time it's like 10 at 10 a.m., it's like really freaking hot. And then it's like 90 degrees. And then same thing, like you hit like 4 or 5 in PM, and then all of a sudden temperature just drops. So, but it's generally pretty hot up here in the fall now. But we have cold springs. We have like snow, winter, rain, like it just rains nonstop for the most part. I don't particularly care to live up here, but I'm married and my spouse is stubbornly staying here. I've tried to get out of here like a ton of time, but trying to get out doesn't always guarantee you're gonna because I'm still here. Um, I don't know what all my options are. I'm aware of more options now ever since I went to UMass. And I chit chat with one of my friends in Burbank frequently, and he had a lot of really good things going, and now he's sort of like, I don't know, open for other things at the moment. Yes. But so you've definitely come a long way in your life. You're like married now. So did you have any kids yet, or what? Trying to. It's really expensive to have kids. I have one, and I used to be well off before I had it. my 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 kid got a trophy from Disney a few months ago for animation. So she's amazing. Yeah, she's 15. I know the time flew. One day George W. Bush was president, and the next day it was Donald Trump. But then again, I mean, even like a guy with the name Barack Obama became president, and that's kind of mind blowing. Like, if you had told me in 1999 that the weirdo killer governor of Texas that would just kill people, like he was like death sentence crazy, that he would become president and he was the son of the other George Bush, I'd say you're crazy. But if I told you, like, oh, he became president, but he wasn't actually elected, he was appointed by the Supreme Court, and then they changed everything so that you couldn't use it as precedent and no one could do it ever again, right? I'd say that's crazy. And then if you told me after that a guy named with the name Barack Hussein Obama became president and he was like half black or quarter black or whatever, I'd be like, what? That doesn't make sense. And then everything that he ran against George W. Bush, he ended up doing like and doubled and tripled down. Like he took like 2 wars and made it into 7. He got a Nobel Peace Prize, and in his acceptance speech was like, "I'm going to war," and then he had a kill list, and he used his mother's death, for as a pitch against healthcare problems, only to not help out healthcare at all. And yeah, drone strikes, collateral murder. He tortured uh, Chelsea Manning. He even like there's a clip you can find it where he's like, "We tortured some folks," you know. Also, if I told myself, if I traveled back in time, if I told myself or anybody that the United States was to be like rampantly torturing people, and they deny it at first and then like boast about it later, they'd be like, "You're crazy." And then same thing like the drone strikes, like the drones and everything, they'd be like, "I think you're watching Terminator too much." And then I'd be like, "Oh well, actually, Arnold Schwarzenegger became like governor of California." They'd be like, "Whatever, you're crazy." And after that, it was Donald Trump, and he ran against Hillary Clinton, but her policies were even worse than Bush and Cheney, and it was like Iran Contra and Watergate together, but like weirder and crazier and like beyond bailout corruption, right? Which I don't even think people would even believe me about the bailouts that would ever happen in the future. Like there's so much craziness, and then like when you talk about things like here's another one, a lot of people don't know. Yeah, I agree, the guy's nuts. I can't stand that guy either. He's like so unhinged, he's super unhinged. Like he just like he had a massive disaster with Puerto Rico recently, and it's worse than Katrina. There's another one. If I went back in time to 1999, nobody, even myself, wouldn't believe me about what the future would be like. Because remember, like Y2K, and they'd be like, "We're gonna like enter into the age of Aquarius, and there won't be any war or racism ever again." How'd that work out? Like today, there are people who don't even know what the word liberal or conservative actually even mean. And there are people who do things that are actually liberal, but they think it's conservative. Like, for example, like if you have a liberal amount of guns, unchecked and unregulated, that's technically liberalism. That's what that means. Now, if I wanted gun control and gun reform and regulation and safety, that's technically being conservative. Mind blown, right? Now, in 1999, that would make sense to people. Today, they're like, "Wait, what? What does this mean? Like, what do you mean? But I'm a this label, I'm that label." That's not what that means. Same thing like, okay, Democrat and Republican. Okay, what is a republic? So a government of the people, for the people, by the people, elected officials who do things at the behest of their voters because the power comes from the people. Am I right? That's a republic. Okay. And the platform, but by the way, the Republican Party was a third party, and it came about as a protest against the Whigs. And they ran on a platform of if a company eventually becomes profitable, the workers should benefit and they should be able to own the factory. That was Lincoln's platform. Lincoln's platform. Okay. Now the fucking Republican Party is like anti-republicanism, and it's like this weird neoliberalism shit, like neocons, which makes no fucking sense, and it's just like libertarian nonsense. And then this is the biggest one of all because people are super brainwashed, and it's like they don't want to go. They're like, "No, I need to have my mind nice and narrow in this thing. Don't tell me anything real. Don't tell me anything true." The Democratic Party, I mean, it's called Democratic Party, but it has super delegates and delegates, so that you can't actually democratically vote for a candidate. They have a whole bunch of rules now so that only the establishment can pick based on how much money they've been paid. And they're all Cheneyites now, and they're pro fracking and pro profit. Like they're pro slavery of prisoners, and like it's just so I'm not in either party, and if you just go issue by issue and just talk about it. I mean, I talk with like if you talk to like younger people, but then even you know what? Here's the weird thing: if I talk to older people, like people who think they're conservative, right? And I talk about the issue by issue, like, okay, we the people, right? And, you know, voting, and if you vote, it should be the majority, but you should still have a constitution so that you can protect, like, the, you know, minorities and this and that. And when you go over it issue by issue, they go, yeah, I totally believe in that. But then when you go to, like, they're fed to them talking points from, like, Fox News, which is now bought by Disney, right? You know, they're like mind blown. They're like, wait, what? But then when you go over to like the people, like, because MSNBC is nothing but like Russia, 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 Russia. Just for all of it is just like it's like a tabloid presidency, a tabloid politics. It's nothing but theater. It's done to sell ads and sell articles online and clicks and clickbaits. There's so much, yeah, but MSNBC is nothing but spin. They're basically the new version of like the Glenn Becks, like because Rachel Maddow doesn't do journalism anymore. It's just here's this is my talking book. Like she makes what $30,000 a day. Okay, a day. So, and there's always some dossier or attaché or document, which always gets debunked and they never retract it because they always have another thing to keep you scared. Or, like, at one point, they were fed some old tax returns that was fed to them from Trump himself. Like, everything you do to give Trump attention, he loves it. He wants to his niche in life was to be a reality guy, like reality TV star, like Paris Hilton or something, you know. And now, if you talk about like real issues or help people understand their rights, like I mean, if you try and get a job and they have some inkling that you're aware of your rights, you're not going to get that job. Been there, done that. Okay, I got unhired from Whole Foods. I got unhired from Whole Foods the day before I was supposed to work. Do you know why? This was in 2014. Because I had the audacity to read my contracts, which I'm obligated to do by law. That story was a whole fuck fest, I swear to God. Well, excuse my language, YouTube. They demonetized me, okay? They have decided that I am not worthy anymore. So I'm just kind of using YouTube as sort of like my dumping ground of stuff. I have Vimeo as well. I'm trying out Twitch. I do still have my Twitter. I have 2 Twitters. Twitter is way more active. I actually prefer Twitter. Tumblr, I don't know what the hell happened to Tumblr. Tumblr used to be good and cool and fun, and it doesn't even work now. I do use Snapchat. I like Snapchat because you put stuff out and it vanishes the next day, like, or sometimes immediately. So now, of course, you have like creepy guys who send me weird, inappropriate things, but I change the settings so that only people I know can send me messages, like private messages, because I'm just fed up with like dick pics. Like, it's different if I want to see it and I ask to see it, but I generally don't. Strongly, generally don't. And it's weird. Like, I mean, I'm getting older. I'm like an old lady now. So nobody really wants to do those things to me as much, but it still happens because I'm female. So, but yeah, anyway, I'm doing films. I'm filmmaking. I have a project that hey, there you see my kid back there. I have a
underwear.
Oh, good grief. Yeah, we didn't need to know that. We can't see. I'm just
It's child porn.
It's not child porn. You can't even see you.
Oh.
We can just see your feet.
Oh, oopsie.
My sister-in-law is I don't know, I have a bunch of sister-in-laws. I have sister-in-laws on my youngest brother's side, and then on my spouse's family's side. Um, my my sister-in-law in China is some kind of a lawyer. Uh, it's complicated. I don't know, like the what do you call it? The Communist Party is what do they call it? Like what? The central government or the central Communist Party or the Red Party or whatever the main party. There are other parties in China, so Guomindang is kind of popular again, which is ironically where everyone in my family in China was part of. Like they were like heading it, and then until Cultural Revolution forced everyone to be communist. They were also related to the emperor directly, so they all had to become poor. And the red children robbed their properties and all their. They had all this like stuff. They had like a. Do you know like Li Bai? They had like Li Bai paintings. They had all kinds of like Balbay, everything. And they robbed it. That and the Japanese also robbed them. So
China needs to get rid of that communism.
oh, my niece got married. My niece got married to a guy, local guy, who's I liked him, but he's driving me crazy because he needs to stop using my address as his own because I'm getting tax stuff for him at the end of the year, and I'm like, he does not live here, and I'm telling the census he does not live here. Yeah. And also she doesn't really talk to us anymore. Whatever. Like there's like a word, I can't remember the actual word in Chinese, and it means kind of like odd. She's like odd. It's a certain kind of odd, and she's that. Like she does her own thing, and she's not always social except for when she wants to be. She's very motivated by her own certain things, and she's sort of just odd. That might be it. I'm not sure. Because when she was a little kid, she wouldn't play with other girls. She'd play with boys, but she would beat them up. And it was just, she just was odd. And then she randomly did her hair all weird. I don't know. She was very cloistered growing up. Then she came here. She was scared of doing everything and anything on her own. Then when she got used to it, all of a sudden she went off and did like anything and everything. And it was like all over the place and whatever. And then she got married to this dude, and the guy's younger than her. Like he was just legal enough to get married, which she says he wanted to marry her. And then my mother-in-law was not happy about it. She thought she was just playing house or something, like children or whatever, but they're still together. The weird thing is they actually moved into a house, a brand new, like $1 million house, like multi-million-dollar house, which is over in Southfield, which is so close to where I live. Like I could walk there. It's like next to my neighborhood. And they never told us they lived there. They never told us they moved there, anything. And then they left again. I found out because they had done a fucking change of address, or at least her husband did a change of address form and still sent that shit here. I told them not to send their email or their mail here, snail mail here, but they do anyway. So I don't want to diss my niece. Like she can be nice at times and pretty cool. Other times, like I don't understand. There are certain things like certain Chinese individuals do that I don't always understand. It's like a cultural thing, like keqi and like mianzi. Like sometimes people like they are very polite and very nice and friendly, but it's just like a facade thing, and then inside they don't always really like you or respect you or care about you, but they want you to think they do, which is kind of odd to me. I don't know, like they're just sort of humoring you or whatever. So yeah. I don't know, different cultural stuff. The thing is, I feel like young people today from China are way different than like you and I, our generation, or even my husband or older. Like they don't have they don't have the same kinds of concepts of certain things that like people like your age would. They It's very much, I don't want to say self-centered, but that's the only word I have. Like sort of like all about themselves and don't care about consequences and just kind of I don't even know what to call it. Like it's not like I felt like people like my generation and my husband's generation, because he's older than me like 10 years, um, they would care about getting a good grade and getting a degree and being decent and doing the right thing and all this stuff. And people from China, there's so many kids from China today at UMass, and they just kind of like whatever, like and it's just about like I just want to have sex with this good-looking girl, or because bisexuality is very popular, so there's that. It's I want to have sex with these good-looking guys at the moment because good-looking girls I can't really screw until they say yes, and then they'll go and screw the girls and then move on to the next one. So it's like weird. I don't know. I don't understand this sort of cultural thing, but whatever. Like it's weird to me. And there were definitely some really rude guys, young guys from China in a lot of my classes. I can hear what they're saying. I can hear what they're saying. And it was weird because the one class I was in, the teacher was Chinese, and he refused to speak Chinese for a while, like for a very long time, stubbornly, even though his English was terrible. And eventually he started talking Chinese to them, I guess. So, well, it's actually kind of nice outside for once. The sun is out, so I'm probably gonna go outside and take a walk because I need to. But I am definitely having a hacker problem. Oh, here we go. See, is he gonna do anything? See if he does anything. Nothing. Nothing. He's not doing anything. Oh, there you go. There we go. I think he's trying to corrupt my phone. Can you do anything? Can you do anything? Oh, there we go. Yeah, he's not as active at the second. I think he just wants. I think he has some kind of prompt, or he does stuff with it using some kind of prompt. He's remotely doing it. Yeah, it's stuck. Can't get it to. There we go. I'm kind of fed up with politics lately because I feel like politics isn't even politics anymore. Um, it's just like theater or tabloids, and all the things that actually matter get pushed to the side. There you go. Oh, there's some neighbors outside. So we have new neighbors now, and the new neighbors, there's lots of them. A lot of the old neighbors left. I kind of wonder if some of them passed away. I don't know. And then we got new neighbors, and some of them are kind of like white trash. So, like, they have issues, like drug issues and codependency issues, like really bad. Like the cops get called and everything. Um, and it's driving me crazy. I'm not playing Fortnite, bitch. I'm not playing Fortnite. Just because you like Fortnite doesn't mean I have to. I don't play that. Candy don't play that. I have you know what? I have considered, I'm gonna turn it off. I have considered certain things about how to deal with it. I can't deal with this situation until Mr. Wong returns. He's studying for his master's degree right now. And that means I can only deal with it on the weekend. And this is not the first time that this has happened before. This happened in like July. I think it was end of June and then early July. And I was hacked for like 2 or 3 weeks. It was nuts. It was nuts. And then I managed to get rid of it. I do not know how the heck it got back, how he got back in. So he's clever. He's definitely clever. I I am more than sure it is my ex. I am more than sure. Um, and I can't tick this person off too much because how can I put it? Uh, there's ramifications for that for innocent people. It's happened before. um, I don't know what else to do about it. At least it's me though right now. Like I'm just the target, and it's not someone else at the behest of me who's going to cut me out of their life forever because he can't handle dealing with the terrorism, straight up terrorism. Yeah. One time I had to go home in an armored police car with my kid. That's how bad it is. And that was last year in August. And it's around that time right now. So it's September now, but my birthday just passed, and it seems to be a point of interest for said person to attempt things. Yeah. So I don't have a plan of specific plan of action, but I might have to go to an Apple store. I did manage to communicate with a friend of mine today about the issue a bit. And it's funny because like I can't even talk to Apple on my computer without the ID, and I need the ID on the computer. It's just like if I need to reset the password, I need the phone to do it. So he would know if I'm resetting it, and he'll be able to record that and see that I'm doing that. Like it's a catch-22. So, but yeah, I think I'm gonna go out now. I'm gonna go take a walk. My phone is basically useless right now. Like I can't even like call anyone. I can't text anyone. Like if I text someone, he could hack that person and terrorize that person. If I have too many private, like if you have a private conversation with somebody, it might be like a nothing thing, but it's still private. Like if I'm having a conversation about somebody, I don't know, making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, that's still private, you know? Yeah, so I'm gonna go, but I have documented that this guy does stuff to my phone. I was doing it like with Snapchat before. It was easier to see because you could see his finger marks, like where he punched it and what he was swiping. And okay, laters.